And Dawn.
And Marty.
And Jesse.
And James.
Yay!
Yay! And we are live. And here we are. I'm going to bring up the chat in case somebody actually wants to watch the show while we're talking. And we'll go from there. And overlays on. And there we are. Welcome back from our summer hiatus. Kind of a self-imposed summer hiatus due to work. Finally, DNV showed up at my hospital, so I am now done with my survey.
Very nice.
For anybody who works in the healthcare industry, we have to have accreditation every year or so from different agencies to CMS regulations, and they finally showed up. So, you all right, Jim?
Yep. Just getting my screen set up here.
Okay. And then, so we're all out of that and trucking right along. So, hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
So, what's new?
I'm here.
Yeah,
Yes.
in person.
Look at that. Yeah, somebody else is in the studio.
Yeah, came down for a little vacay. So get to do this from the SitRep HQ, if you will.
Yeah.
Good times.
Hobby-wise.
Oh. So I'll start. I've been painting terrain like it's my job for Steve Herner for upcoming Holy Wars tournament. We're building 5 new tables, and there's a lot of terrain to build to go with those. So it's a Age of Sigmar tournament. So currently, all themed tables. None of it is that we're building is like from the actual game system itself, because it's a narrative tournament. So I'm working on the houses and mansions for a seaside village currently.
Awesome.
Very cool.
How about you, Donnie?
Not a whole lot new, honestly. Just tinkering away with my magic cards, and honestly, I'm getting excited. Our grandson Joe is going to come down and be with us for a week, so it will be all gaming all the time for the entire time he's here. So hopefully we'll get a bunch out of that. But I know that's going to be a lot of magic. It'll be other stuff too, but he is super excited to play Commander with Jesse and Bill and I now. So yeah, should be fun.
He's coming down to wreck you all.
Yeah,
I understand.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Jesse?
Since last time we did stream, I did end up building my blackout set for the Rangers and for the one of the mechs from the unit.
Nice.
So I haven't gotten around to painting them yet, but I will eventually. And other than that, I haven't really done a lot of hobbying.
Yeah. I'm trying to type on the sound panel here. Sorry, Jen. Good morning. There's no letter keys on a audio panel. My bad. Jim, what you been up to?
Well, we recently ran our Battle of Bunker Hill, parts 1 and 2. Those have been up on the channel for a while. They've done pretty well. But I can start to sense that the community is getting tired of hearing me bloviate about the American Revolution, so we're switching gears. I've been working on some Middle East, North Africa insurgents. Finally, I've got an army of, or a force of 66 of them that have been sitting on my hobby table, partially complete since December. Since I got back from Belgium. So, yeah, they've been sitting in like a half-completed state ever since then. So I've been working on those. Those will probably get done this week. Might be doing some Anaconda near the end of this month, maybe early next month. But before that, we're building up for some German-built Leopard 1s, which are already complete. We'll be running some games in Ukraine. Svatove is the specific engagement in August of 2024. So, less than a year old as far as keeping it modern here on the SitRep podcast. I'm having a hell of a time finding units confirmed. I mean, this is the problem with modern gaming. Staying realistic and staying accurate. Like, what's accurate? Like, where are you going to find, reliable records? Everything's still classified. Half of everything you find is just outright lies, both ways, pro-Russian and pro-Ukrainian. But I think I found a good candidate unit. 44th Mechanized Brigade looks like a solid bet. Actually, he has leopard ones, which we want to use in the on the table, and we actually want to put on the table accurately, not just oh, we have leopard we have the toys. Let's put them on the table. We take it a little bit more seriously than that.
Yeah, finding
And
a girl for a battle can be challenging, as you said.
it's I mean, when it's this recent, I mean, people aren't exactly going to post, "Hey, everybody, here's our 44th Mechanized Brigade, and here's everything we've got. We're deployed in this."
Right.
Surprise, surprise. People aren't going to do that while the conflict's ongoing. And it's one of those things that you run across, and then again, half of what you find is just complete nonsense. I was going to go with 68 Jaegers, but I'm getting conflicting sources on them. I found one source, obviously, actually 2 pages on the same site, from the same source. It's a pretty good source, but on 2 different pages on that source, they say they have them and they don't have them. So I don't know. Maybe they had them at one time or something. I'm gonna go with the 44th. It's more. It's less close to one of the really good battles I wanted to do, but I'm gonna go with what's safe. So long story short, take your first shot, even though it's too early in the morning for that.
Is it?
It's 5:00 somewhere. It's fine.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. There you go. We're trying to get it back more to moderns. So upcoming projects include again Ukraine, in the Donetsk Oblast, where a lot of the fighting is now. Anaconda. Once I get these new Middle East, North African insurgents complete, I mean they're good for that general area. They'll work for Afghan Taliban. 2002, obviously. And then Mark and I at the club are possibly working on a collaboration for a Battle of Hue game. Mark is running this year-long project where he's kind of doing all the 200. He's doing a whole bunch of different battles from different periods of the Marine Corps history for the 250th birthday. So Hue is coming up. We're probably going to do Task Force X-Ray. Everybody's seen the movie, Hotel Company, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. Everyone's seen Full Metal Jacket. That's literally the unit that we're probably going to focus on. Famously, in the Battle of Hue. I've got Hue terrain down to the signage, like on the side of the buildings. I've got the goofy toothpaste ad. I don't know if you guys have you ever seen that movie recently?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Been a while.
If you ever see it again, it's in the movie a couple times. You'll see like these billboards of this huge guy like getting ready to brush his teeth. Kind of probably not in the best of taste, given today's sensibilities. But again, it was the late '60s. But anyway, I looked it up. It turns out it was a toothpaste ad, and it was all over Hue at the time. So we're down to the billboards. We have like the accurate billboards. So we might be doing that, although. Again, that might be a little bit further on in the summer. And that's what I've got going on at the moment.
Okay.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, I built Jim's artillery piece and painted it, and I got to flock it and do a little, flocking and things, make it wintry. I realized I didn't have any terrain building stuff. No flock, no snow, no nothing. I tried to roll a drunk downtown to get his Coke to use the snow, but it didn't work. But I am in the middle of a project. We're going to film us playing the world's greatest war game ever made.
Oh.
I say that in 100% serious. The world's greatest war game, the world's most popular war game ever made.
Tell.
Battleship.
Bill's fallen to
Battleship.
40K. He's fallen to 40K.
Oh no.
Oh, well.
Hey Jim, how you doing this morning?
Are we going to call that a war game? That's all good.
How many copies has Risk sold?
All of them. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if it's good, but it's popular. That's for
Honestly, it is probably the gateway drug to wargaming for a lot of people. I mean, it was one of the first games I learned about, fake Coke, try BC powder. Oh, okay. But I mean, you think about it, creates the idea of strategy and strengths, and yeah, it's very simple in the truest sense. But
So Risk is the game that kind of got us through my first deployment in Iraq.
Oh, yeah?
That was one of the ones that we played in our downtime, because I don't know where we stole it from, because nobody brought one. So, and it's not like it was for sale in the PX that we didn't have. So
yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but somebody had one, and we had the way our tents were set up. There was kind of like a little courtyard in between them, with a camo shade over it, and it just kind of lived out there. And
Yeah.
people would show up in their off time and play it,
There you go.
and it got heated.
I bet it did. No, Jen, Panzer Leader would have been a better choice. However, there's people at this table who would not play Panzer Leader.
I'm
So-
literally.
I could hear I could hear the irony in Bill's voice when he was building up to it. I was like, it's not going to be Panzer Leader. No, I was afraid it was going to be like Star Wars or 40K or something.
Yeah. But also, during our hiatus, 4th of July was last week. We did watch one of the greatest in War of Independence movies because Dawn likes
There
it.
we go.
We did watch The Patriot.
My condolences.
But they don't make a lot of movies about the American Revolution. We saw John Adams. I can't honestly think of any off the top of my head that at least recent or in the last several decades. I think they made a Paul Revere movie at one point, but
It's not really. Apologies, I stalled right halfway through my sentence. It's not really 4th of July appropriate, but probably one of the better ones out there as far as Revolutionary War movies. If you ever get a chance to watch The Crossing, with Jeff Daniels playing Washington, it's more of a Christmas movie. Yeah, it's about the crossing the Delaware and the attack on Trenton.
oh, okay.
It's actually, it's like a made-for-TV movie, so it's not like it doesn't look like The Patriot. It doesn't have the Patriot's budget.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's pretty good. It's not perfect. They get a couple things, wrong here or there. But again, it's a movie. But as far as movies go, you guys know how I feel about most historical, military movies. This one's actually pretty good.
Nice.
The dinner scene between him and Horatio Gates. God, I hate Gates. He's the worst. He is the worst. His career ends. One of the very few things that the Patriot gets right. They describe Horatio Gates fleeing the Battle of Camden on horseback, like full gallop, and his staff is 200 yards behind trying to catch up. That was the end of Gates. Yeah, and this is him a couple years before that happened. And and it's because of him. It's because of Gates, more or less stealing credit for the victories at Saratoga, first battle and second battle of Freeman's Farm. That is one of the things that eventually pushes Benedict Arnold to make the decision that he eventually made. Cost us one of our best generals. Before he turned, Benedict Arnold was, probably the best general we had in the American Revolution. Tactically far superior to Washington. Not even close.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Greene, Sullivan, Sinclair, a bunch of them. He was probably tactically, maybe not operationally, but tactically he was probably the best one we had. And he won, and he won, and he won. He won when Washington was losing. He drew draws when Washington was losing, and a lot of it is because of Gates. But anyway, I got off on a tangent there. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
I just got done saying the community's tired of hearing me movie about the Revolution. Here I go again.
Yeah.
So here's something that just came up while you're talking about Benedict Arnold. Do kids these days use that term anymore?
I was thinking the same thing. I haven't heard anyone say.
I can remember as a kid saying, "Oh, you're a Benedict Arnold," throwing his name about when somebody did something we felt was treacherous or treasonous or trade us, and we call you a Benedict Arnold. I don't think anybody even knows who Benedict Arnold is these days after a certain year of birth.
Is he the guy with the eggs with the hollandaise sauce?
Yeah.
Sir, you're using big words. No one knows what hollandaise sauce is either.
Jim said
I know what
Jim
hollandaise
knows.
sauce. I love Benedict. Eggs Benedict.
I can't think of the actor's name now, but Benedict Arnold: A Question of Honor is another pretty good movie. That's all about Benedict Arnold. Focuses on his career before the betrayal, and thus, kind of gives you his side of the story.
Yeah.
I'll look it up in a second. But he's in there. That's another pretty good movie. But no, I mean, if you asked anybody who Benedict Arnold was now, they, what TikTok channel he's on. I mean,
Yeah,
Forget
probably
about it.
that is exactly the answer you would get.
Yeah, how about it? So to shift from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War, I'm down here with the Lomaxes, and we went to Fort Donaldson yesterday and
Oh, nice.
drove around the battlefield and looked at the gun batteries and their emplacements over the river and all that stuff. So if you haven't seen the video that Bill, how long ago was that?
Well, it was 2 years ago.
I was
now?
gonna say it was a while ago. Yeah, check it out because we were there yesterday and I got to see it in person, so that was kind of cool.
Mhm.
That's Grant's stomping ground, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
Yep.
that's where the Battle of Fort Donaldson is where he earned his nickname. So his name is Ulysses S. Grant, and after that battle, that U.S. became unconditional surrender, because during the Battle of Fort Donaldson, when the Confederates sent requests for terms for surrender, he says unconditionally.
I got your
So-
terms right here.
Yeah. So
Here's your term.
So, yeah.
Why does this say go F yourself?
Exactly. So basically, that battle is what made Grant famous and would take him all the way to the White House eventually. That's before that he was pretty much an unknown general. So he Southern Illinois campaigns, into Kentucky and then Tennessee. So that battle there is what put him on the map, literally and figuratively.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and it was pretty cool to be able to walk the battleground. You can still see the trenches and gun emplacements, and they've got some good maps to kind of show the flow of the battle and whatnot.
yeah. Yeah, here in
There's
Tennessee,
the
we're,
ones out east, Fredericksburg, Sharpsburg, and Gettysburg, obviously. I think that's it. I mean, it was like 20 years, no more than that, 30, 35 years ago. Good God.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them have been kind of paved over, like the cities continue to grow
yeah.
until they pretty much swallow the old battlefields, but some of them get preserved.
Well, not Dover, Tennessee. It's going to be a long time before they pay.
Well, I mean, essentially the whole town of Dover was the
I was gonna
battlefield.
say,
So
and it is kind of interesting because the sites are not even all together.
Right.
They are spread out, and you do end up going like there's one of the paths where you literally turn off into kind of a semi subdivision that veers off and out, and you're like, where this has nothing to and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, now I see where we
Yeah.
are. But yeah, geography changes things a bit over time.
Also,
Yeah.
half of Dover's not paved now. So.
Yeah, there's that.
So yeah, there's a lot, this time of the year, summertime, obviously was a very busy time during the Civil War. Everybody's duking it out.
Fighting season.
Yep. So that's the one thing that blows my mind about the Revolutionary War is that fall, winter, people went home. Yeah, we'll fight you we'll see you in the spring. I got crops to bring in, and
I was gonna say you got to harvest the crops.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you're everything's set on the homestead for the winter.
yeah. So I mean, essentially, it was just the regular Continental Army guys that pretty much stuck it out, and all the Minutemen or militia guys were going home to handle their farms. And
90% of our Minutemen went home as soon as the first British guy appeared with a bayonet fixed. I don't know why those guys are so revered in our history. It's
Yeah.
well, think about it. It's just average Joe trying to stand up to the big bad British Army.
average Joe doesn't belong on a battlefield.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they belong in an insurgency. We all know that.
That's what we're good at.
but yeah. This weekend. I think it's Historicon, isn't it, Dawn?
Yeah, is it
I don't know.
this weekend or next weekend? I thought it was this weekend, but
Let's look it up.
while we're on the subject, big thoughts out to Chris Bennett, who unfortunately had a really terrible 4th of July and he's still in the hospital.
Yep. No, he didn't blow his fingers off.
Oh yeah, nothing to do.
He
with
had-
that. Medical emergency.
Yeah, medical emergency.
Looking.
But Phalanx Con still on track.
As far as we know, yeah, for
I
November.
didn't ask.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
And it seems like it continues to, kind of pick up traction and gain ground.
Yeah.
Oh, really? We did drive by the convention center that they're going to be hosting that,
Yep.
so we got to see that. Well, I've already been there because that's where I had my first military ball, but it's pretty good size. Should be pretty good venue for first run.
Nice.
July 16th to the 20th.
So next weekend.
Next weekend.
All right. Well, if you haven't had a chance and you want to go check out some historical content, gaming stuff, I think the lead podcast, whatever they are, will be
Lead
there.
Pursuit, yeah,
Lead
they'll be
Pursuit.
there.
And Little Wars TV,
Yeah.
they're usually there. And then all the historical stuff. It'll be interesting to see if it is different than what I saw last year. Last year didn't look terribly busy, to be honest with you. From the pictures I saw in the video, there didn't seem like a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it was just a fluke and they recover numbers, or maybe timing of the people taking the pictures was different.
That always could be.
Yeah.
If you do it at the very beginning of the day or the very end of the day, things have thinned out a little bit.
Yeah,
might
and
be.
our friend of the show, Dr. Steve Fratt from HMGS Midwest, is taking his games out there. So
Yep.
we'll see. Maybe we'll get a little report from him on how things went.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the month, the following weekend, I believe it is Gen Con.
Yep.
They've sold out, is my understanding, again. So that's 70,000 plus tickets sold.
Yeah, too many people for me. I can't. do
If
it.
you've never done Gen Con, you've got to do it at least once.
No, except you already convinced me I don't need to with that number.
And that's pretty much it. Well, NashCon, right, in August.
Yes. Yep.
We might run out there and take a look. We've never been there, and it's literally just down the road, so
Yeah.
might as well go take a look at it.
Right.
Yeah. Any industry news? I mean, it's been pretty quiet, to be honest with you.
No, and it's funny because we were talking about it that honestly, we're so close to Gen Con that usually there's like a ramp up of announcements and things, but there's nothing that really has like
No.
caught my attention to be like, oh, I gotta watch for that, So it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure things will shake out of at Gen Con,
Mhm.
But it's just weird because generally on the run up, like the good month and a half before, there's a bunch of things that you're like, oh,
I think
get
the whole
FOMO.
tariff situation has affected
good point.
releases and whatnot, and
That's a good point.
there's a lot that I think are kind of delayed and trying to exercise some tactical patience to see how this works out
Yeah.
before they I'm gonna make 70,000 units of this and bring it to Gen Con.
Maybe not.
Yeah. That's not
Hey,
good.
Skoback, just to let you know, we haven't done a lot of live streaming over the last couple months. We've tried to do a pre-recorded show that we put out on the Saturdays. And we've been off for a few weeks here the last month or so. So no worries. They're there when you have free time. You want to go back and look at them.
Yeah.
We thought the live stream, we're trying to mix it up, see what works best, but that's kind of what the situation's been. So don't stress over it. It's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Jim.
Speaking of, I don't know if I exactly would call it industry news, but we are a modern warfare channel, modern wargaming channel. Any thoughts on the chair force finally getting off their ass and doing something in Iran recently?
Oh,
The bombing in Iran.
well, it's nice they dusted off those airplanes and actually went and did something. I mean, blew out the spider webs and stuff out of the engines. Yeah, I thought it was pretty. Is it terrible to say it was pretty cool? It's not cool.
It was a very impressive operation.
Yes, that's impressive is probably the better word.
I mean, it is a feat to be able to fly from Missouri,
That's
To
so
Iran.
Air Force bases.
drop a giant bomb or a bunch of them
Yep.
in Iran and fly back, and they didn't land the entire time.
Correct.
Also,
B2s have been doing that for a while. They were
Yep.
doing that in Afghanistan. They were doing that in.
yeah, but Afghanistan didn't have any air defenses. They don't
Yeah,
count.
I mean,
Because that was my next point. Is and Iran did not have any intercept capability, or at least
No, because
one
Tom
that we
Cruise
saw.
stole their last F-14.
And then
It's
there's
amazing
that.
people were bringing those up. I'm like,
I was thinking more like radar, but
those are from the Shah's era. I honestly think any of those are still flying, but
Hilarious.
Well, there was one in Maverick.
the most
is that-
hilarious
is that
part of
better
that
stuff?
movie was
You've never seen Maverick?
God no. Come
Oh
on.
my God, dude.
so when what's his name Rooster gets in the back seat and he's like, "Oh my God, there's so
It's
many
so
fuses."
old. Yeah.
And it's just panels and panels of fuses and switches. He's like, "I don't know what to do. There's too much." I'm like,
So, Jim, I watch that movie at least once a month.
yes.
Okay.
It's
Seriously.
his favorite.
followed by the Patriot.
No, that one I haven't seen in a while.
True.
But
No, I watched that once.
But yeah, Maverick is a good movie. It's a really good movie. Yes, they stole a story from Star Wars. It's the run on the Death Star. I'll admit it, but it is a good movie. Yeah, but it's going back to the. I want to say it's kind of payback for Operation Eagle Claw. If everybody
Yeah.
remembers that one,
Oh,
that's
Yes.
when they tried to rescue the hostages and the helicopter crashed.
It was
what year
at
was it?
Desert One out in the middle of wherever the hell it was.
79.
79.
Listen, Jesse, we
Um,
know. We don't need you to say
It's
it out
about
loud.
14 years before I existed. so,
That's historical,
Yeah.
sir.
Roger.
It's history. Turns out you were talking about the Revolutionary War, and I don't think you were there either. So it'll be all right.
I don't know crap about it.
But yeah,
We did get Delta Force out of that, though.
That's true. That's where they were created.
I thought we
That
got
and the
Rangers
160th.
out of that.
No, Rangers have been around since World War II.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eagle Claw was
Too
the
hard.
emphasis to create.
Rangers climbing up the cliff.
Yeah,
No, I
5th Ranger
you were talking
Battalion.
about Revolutionary War.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, Rangers were in the American Revolutionary
Well,
War.
that's what I mean.
Yes.
I like.
You wanna
I
get
said, we were
technical,
talking
it goes
about
back-
Revolution.
It goes back to Morgan's 11th Virginia.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really want to get,
I don't know if that's like they've been around since then, or that's where
Right.
they pull their heritage from,
Was it-
or
you got the French and Indian War,
Yeah.
and they were fighting in the French and Indian War, but they weren't a formalized group during the French. That's just how they fought back in the day.
Well, they had what was that guy's name? Right.
Roger.
Daniel Morgan did fight
Roberts?
in the
Roberts Rangers? Are you thinking
Yeah.
of that? Yeah.
Well, that's they. If you go to the Ranger Regiment, they tie their beginnings to that regiment.
Yeah.
It's in their history as
Yeah.
their unit.
11th Virginia. At least that's what I've read. I've never been to the building you're talking about. 11th Virginia. Daniel Morgan,
There, more.
who didn't have that unit in the French and Indian War, but he himself did fight in the French and Indian War.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody with a rifle is a ranger, obviously,
No.
like those. But Morgan took 500 lashes from the British during that war. 500,
Damn.
not all at once, and he got all the teeth smashed out of one side of his mouth by an Indian musket ball. He's hard as nails, and that was before the revolution even started. So
That pissed him off.
I was
Right.
gonna say, I think I see this guy's motivation. I don't care if we get a free country out of this. I just want to kill all those guys.
But sorry, I thought we were talking about the Revolution, still not Delta from the 70s.
It all combines.
Yeah.
It all tracks.
I mean, you just got to move the slider on the timeline.
Right.
on the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
And then you come to Grenada, and Grenada doesn't really create any new special forces, but I think is that where we get joint.
That's where Joint
Yeah.
Special Operations Command came out of.
because
Yep.
too many special forces guys were shooting each other.
JSOC.
Yeah, we need to get these guys organized.
Yeah.
And,
Because everybody during Grenada, because when I got to the 82nd in 87, a lot of the people that were still in the division went to Grenada in the stories they tell. So the Army was on one set of radios, the Navy was on another set of radios, the Air Force was pretty much doing their own thing. So nobody could really talk to each other unless you had a common commo guy you went through. So it was a big mess. And when I was at the Repel detachment, the replacement detachment, one of their favorite stories to tell is that there was an E3, some kind of commo guy that literally got to division. They went up to him, yanked him out of formation, sent him off to Georgia to the Ranger Battalion, and said, "You're jumping into this island with us because you're the only guy who can do your job right now." So he jumped in he went with the Rangers, and then and everybody else followed on. But yeah, they tell that story all the time.
Is this how we got our JTACs nowadays?
So, but yeah, pretty much. I mean,
the different branches of the special. I mean, everybody had their own special forces.
yeah.
And again, this is '83, so I mean, Vietnam is still pretty recent. There hasn't been a whole lot of successful action in the '70s. I mean, Dominican Republic. No, that was in '65. There wasn't a lot, so everyone was kind of keyed up, maybe a little too overzealous, and a lot of confusion, some friendly fire incidents. I can't swear to this, but I have read a couple places that it seems like a comedy scene in Heartbreak Ridge, where you're talking about communication problems in
Kid
Grenada.
made the call.
The guy has to actually make a collect call.
That was true. That was 100% true.
I think that actually happened.
Yeah.
Something like that happened. I mean, that's how. I mean, to your point about how bad communications were.
Yeah, that was 100% true because, again, when I got to division, they made us get phone cards.
So is that a collect call for fire?
But yeah, back then you had to get, a phone card. They made us get phone cards, and the story they told why we had to get a phone card, I think it was just because they didn't want us carrying money around, because back then you didn't have cell phones. It was pay phones to call home. Is that they didn't want anybody carrying money, so they made everybody get a AT&T phone card to make calls home or whatever. But the story they told was because of this unit, and I believe it was still a Marine unit, was taking fire, and they wanted to call on a fire mission and couldn't because their radio guy was toast, and they found an active phone line, and he tried to call back to Bragg to have them relay it back to their fire control.
The Marine guy was trying to call Lejeune, Lejeune or Cherry.
Yeah, Lejeune.
Yeah.
Yep. So Lejeune, Bragg, they're all in the same place. And, one's on the water, one's not. But yeah, it's a true story. That part of Heartbreak Ridge is based on a fact.
I've heard it. I've never.
Yeah. That was the thing when I got to division. Grenada was still hot and heavy. Vietnam had gotten pushed back. We still had a lot of guys that were in Vietnam in the division, but Grenada was like, our, chest pound at the time.
Well, it's what have you done for me lately? And that was the last major operation.
Exactly. So, and you hear stories about how a guy got on a supply run, milk run down to the island, unloaded in a quote unquote combat zone and got a CIB. And he never picked a rifle. He didn't even have a rifle, just got off, unloaded a plane and jumped back on and flew back to Bragg. And he was awarded a CIB. So I don't even think they were infantry, but, they were handing shit out left and right and center.
How do you get a CIB if you're not infantry?
He must have been infantry. He said he had it on his chest, but he said, I literally got on a plane, walked in, unloaded a plane, walked back on a plane, flew back to Bragg.
Probably just some idiot in the wrong place, the wrong time.
Yeah.
Pulled to duty.
Well, when you put 18, 19-year-olds in charge of orders and personnel records, things get screwed up.
The Army's never gotten anything wrong, sir.
Your friendly neighborhood S1 office.
Yeah, most of those need to be burned down.
I mean, to be fair, even to this day, there's been incidents where people have had to use cell phones because their communications aren't working. There is an entire story of a Navy SEAL team in Afghanistan having to call Barrett's home office to try and work through a problem on a M98 while getting shot at.
Yep.
Because they can't figure out how to get the stupid rifle to work.
Just one of the sniper rifles, right?
Yeah.
And to Ben's point, the Vulcans, I remember reading or seeing something about that.
We went over it in the Ops Center. We actually have a graph in that episode that shows how many tankers it took to put one Vulcan over that airfield for 10 seconds. It's like 17 tankers were needed because it was relay upon relay upon relay. The tankers needed tankers that needed tankers to get the. I'm not kidding. It's like a big
Yeah.
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You know how many tankers, and then they had alternates because the plane that actually made it on that first mission was the alternate because the actual intended strike plane took off and like within 3 minutes had to return to base because
I take it their fuel consumption was really high and they don't have a very good range. If they're using that many tankers.
They're decent. It's 1982, and this is a
Yeah.
plane from the 50s, and these planes were about to be taken apart when the Falcons broke loose. And again, this is all in that. It's a long time ago. I mean, we haven't done Op Center in a while, and it's like the second series of Op Center. It was like they had to go down to the corner hardware store and get parts.
Yeah.
To kind of get these planes flying again. I mean, it was
surprise.
Yeah, they're not. They weren't the best readiness.
Yeah.
But to your other point, there's a list of dead Russian generals. Like the first 3 to 5 Russian generals got taken out using their own cell phones for communication because their system, like their battlefield communication system, relied on a certain level of it's basically a cell service. And their electronic warfare was trying to cripple Ukrainian cellular service. They blinded themselves or deafened themselves, I should say, as well with their own jamming frequencies. So Russian generals go back to their friggin' these things, their iPhones, and in case these things are stupidly easy to track. And Ukrainian security services quickly triangulated like 3 of them, and sent in the HIMARS, and then they lost at least 3 or 4 like flag officers, major generals, and up, at least divisional commanders with that. So, not a smart thing to do is sometimes you don't have a choice, but if you can possibly avoid it, never ever pick up a cell phone on a battlefield because it's like a huge target on your forehead. Come get me, dinner on the table.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered Grenada, covered the American Revolution. I'm trying to think of any exciting news. Like I said, outside some conventions, there really hasn't been big release news. Jim, what you got coming up? Do you have any videos coming up, sir? Or you working on any projects?
We are in order. We're probably doing the Ukraine. I can't pronounce it now. Svatovi battle.
Mm-hmm.
My Leopard ones. We're doing that. We're playing that game tomorrow. I'm gonna film it, and I'm trying to get video out later on this month. Not 100% sure on the dates on that one, but that's definitely next in the pipeline. Followed by probably Anaconda, and then Hue a little bit further down from that.
Oh, cool.
Because we got to get back to moderns. Way too much American Revolution.
Yeah.
It's fun to laugh.
Have you ever seen the Gladiator movie?
Timmy, have you ever been in a triple spear?
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think we've ever really touched on those kind of battles like Anaconda and all that stuff. So that'll be interesting.
I was trying to come up with a way because we have Rory Krebs Naval Command.
Mm-hmm.
To do some of this Houthi stuff in the Gulf. Was that the Gulf of Aden and not the Gulf of Aden, the Red Sea? I just couldn't figure out a way to make it into like a decent game because it's like here come a bunch of missiles, here comes a bunch of point defense. Okay, that was fun. Next, and then right when I started to get some traction on that, this bombing in Iran happened. So
yeah,
I don't know. We've got the system for it. I just can't. I was having a tough time coming up with a way to make it fun, to make it an actual game. That
Here's a thought. You send in a team into Yemen and it's a race against the clock to find the launch sites, to target them, and blow them up before they destroy so many ships.
Yeah, we can do that in Valor and Victory Moderns, Modern Expansion.
And then your win condition is this many ships survive, your team survives, team dies, team gets captured, those kind of criteria.
I think we deploy the USS Wisconsin,
Right?
and you naval bombardment.
Put the Jersey, the Iowa, and the Wisconsin right off the shore and just lay waste.
Shaking his head.
Put those 16-inch guns to work.
Like the mountain disappear.
I mean,
You can't go by the Battleship movie. Those ships can't come back at this point.
Now, see, I'm beginning to wonder about that because I keep seeing a lot of little images of them doing something with the Jersey or the Iowa, one of those class
New
battleships.
Jersey just got a dry dock because the hull was rotting out of the bottom of the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, if you park the ship in the river, I think it's actually in the Delaware River. It's by Camden.
Yeah.
I'm actually subscribed to their channel.
that's why it's rotting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's they run. I'm not a metallurgy guy. They run electrical current through the hull.
Yep.
To try and keep some of the stuff from growing on it, but eventually, it needs to be taken in for pretty comprehensive maintenance.
But think about it. You put a couple of those battleships offshore. Remember in Desert Storm when was it the New Jersey or the Iowa? I can't remember which one it was. Or
it was
Big
Missouri,
Mo.
Wisconsin, the second two.
In
Missouri?
Wisconsin, yeah.
It was Missouri and Wisconsin, number 63 and 64.
Yeah,
second
just-
two. I knew one of the guys. I was still in the Marine Corps back then. I knew one of the guys on one of the spotting teams for Wisconsin.
Yeah,
But-
you better better be good at what you do, because you
Yeah,
mess
you
up that grid and call your own in.
That one time they said
We'll miss
algebra
you.
would save your life. The one time they said algebra would save your life. Yep. You don't want to make a mistake on that math problem.
So I'm going to play hypothetical. So say some conflict blows up with China, right? Because, they're enemy number one now, supposedly. They're going to pull battleships out. There's going to be battleships.
When you say they, you mean us or China?
Us.
I say,
Because China's going to have big ships, too. They're going to have capital ships.
yeah, but they're going to be made out of like tinfoil and balsa
Don't
wood
matter.
and-
They have one.
I don't know what the aircraft carriers are doing,
They're
but
fake.
One air.
They're fake.
I would love to see capital ships again. I think they have a place.
I mean,
Capital ships being traditional
Battleships.
battleships
I was
or
gonna say-
fleet carriers.
Yeah.
We still have fleet carriers, but battleships are done. I mean, come on.
Now, you could put new anti-aircraft defenses on, anti-ship defenses on, and they could be the big guns that protect the carriers.
We don't need them. We got destroyers for that now.
and
Everything-
aircraft.
Aircraft carriers are.
Yeah, but
literally-
if you look at some of the simulations that have come out about the survivability of the aircrafts in a conflict with a nation like China, it's not good. It's not that good.
Oh no! Once we've
But
run
is the
across this and
battleship gonna
everything.
enhance that.
We've run across this in Harpoon. We've run across this in on our channel and with Naval Command. Once one of these ships, God forbid, does take a hit, they're not armored. The hulls aren't armored anymore, so because it's pointless. I mean, even the New Jersey's armor, contrary to popular belief, it gets hit with an SSN-15 Kingfisher. That's all she
Yeah.
wrote. I mean, it's
Mhm.
it's got 12 inches of armor. It's got 15 inches of armor. Congratulations, you just got hit with a 3,000-pound warhead traveling at Mach 6.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop it. You can't just put metal in front of the problem anymore. The Navy figured that out back in the 50s. They stopped armoring their ships because it's pointless. Your armor is your electronics, and once that happens, you can't even build your superstructure out of steel anymore because now your ship is top heavy. So you have to build the superstructure out of aluminum, or at least to a large extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what happens to HMS Sheffield in the Falklands War. Gets hit by one Exocet missile, which isn't even that big of a missile. And she burned for 10 days before she finally went down. I mean, once aluminum starts burning, you're not putting that out easily.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Let's make it ultra light. That sounds like a good
Yeah.
idea.
Carbon fiber. I mean, it
Carbon
works for that
fiber-
submarine.
Yeah, it worked for the Titan. Yeah.
Yeah. The feed fertilizer tank that they decided that they were going to put a motor on.
I don't know. I mean,
a
if
window
you
in.
think about it, do you even need ships anymore? You could sit at one side of the world, launch a whole bunch of missiles. I mean, you need boots on the ground to control territory, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
because
warfare's just changed to the point where it's almost scary to Terminator level.
the point of a Navy now, or I don't want to overgeneralize here, but in general, like what a Navy's got to do now is littoral operations, like you were saying, putting boots on the ground, and local air superiority. So putting like I've kind of said, and sometimes people get upset when I say this because it sounds like I'm putting down their Navy. If your Navy does not have a fleet carrier, you don't have a Navy. You have a glorified Coast Guard.
Yeah, you got a bunch of boats.
Yeah, and by fleet carrier, I mean something that can launch fixed wing supersonic aircraft and establish dominance over another country's like native airspace.
Yeah.
That's the point of an aircraft carrier. And then the rest of the Navy more or less protects the carriers.
Yeah.
Supports that
That's
operation.
operational and that's tactical. And then you have to add one little bit of strategic element. You need your ballistic missile submarines and the hunter killers that goes after the other guy's ballistic missile submarines. But that's pretty much like the Navy now. The idea of like battleships like shooting at each other like that was out of date before World War II. Battleships were obsolete like in the 30s.
Don't say it, Jim. It's not true.
It is true.
No.
It's categorically true. But we lost. I mean, 49 battleships were sunk in World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's
See, I don't want to see battleships fighting each other. I just want to see those big 16-inch guns wearing out somebody's shore.
yeah. I mean,
Like, oh, you put your airport within 2 miles of the shore?
That's cute.
We'll
Yeah.
miss it. and I don't mean targeting. I mean
Yeah.
its existence.
But that's what
That
the
was in,
Rangers
the-
are for.
that was in the aftermath of one of our Lebanon videos. Mark ran a game took place in Lebanon. Different factions of the Syrians and the Lebanese Phalange Christian Army and stuff like that in '84. And we're talking about like what happened immediately after that. It was like September of '83 or September of '84, and then in October, the war was over. Like everyone came to the peace table because the day before, I'm not kidding about this, USS New Jersey showed up off the coast of Lebanon. The next day, they came to the peace table. They're like, all right, we'll go ahead and cut a deal because they looked out and they saw this.
Yeah, hold on.
60,000 tons of metal looking at them.
We could talk. We could talk.
I'll look up the dates on that. It was like literally the next day, but yeah.
I mean, I think that, one, I just want to see it because I think it's cool. But I think there is a place for that still. But now it becomes an issue, sort of like your fleet carrier, because you would have to protect that asset.
Not unless you have plenty of air defenses on it as well.
That's what I'm saying. You got to protect that battleship now.
Sea whiz everything. Sea whiz.
Well, they brought them out of mothballs in the 80s, and they installed. They have 4 Sea Whiz on them now. The Phalanx is on them now. I mean, they're not operational. In fact, they probably removed them when they turned them into museums. But
yeah,
back in the 80s and early 90s, they had like 4 of those on there: Harpoons, Tomahawks, up to and including nuclear capability. And they tried to modernize them. But I mean,
what if we had battle carriers? Combination battleship and carrier.
So an aircraft carrier with a battery of 16-inch guns?
Yes.
Ask the
Double
Japanese
decker.
how that worked. Ask the Japanese how that worked. They actually tried that.
I was going to say, haven't we
we
proved that that's not effective?
What if we went Robotech?
All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
I think the 11 nuclear super carriers are just good enough.
I mean,
Oh,
it's not as good as 12, but sure.
I mean,
Well, JFK is on the way, and Enterprise is right behind it. So
I mean, how many does the other countries in the world have?
no, China's
3?
supposedly chugging them out, but who knows?
China has
There's made out of cardboard.
China technically has 1 with another 2 supposedly on the way, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of doubt about their number one, not nuclear, so they don't have the operational endurance that ours have. Like they carry half as many aircraft as far as the quality of their aircraft. There's a lot that technically they have like a couple.
Yeah.
Their deck's made out of plywood.
Yeah.
But they keep building islands. That's how they're getting.
Those are made out of sand and coral, so that's easy.
I feel like we have a few different amphibious assault.
So,
forces.
speaking of that, they just reactivated a World War II airstrip on one of the islands to counter China's expansion. I can't remember what somewhere near Guadalcanal.
Out by the Philippines.
So yeah, somewhere out there.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
so they have been the U.S. military, DoD in general, and primarily the Air Force, have been going to all of the old bases and seeing what their capabilities are, what we would need to do to make them at least in an austere way
Mhm.
operational.
Yep.
If we wanted to run aircraft out of them.
So it kind of tells me. Do you think Subic Bay is going to come back?
No, no, the Philippines had enough of our shenanigans.
Yeah, but now they're on the phone going, "Help us, please help us."
The Philippines sent out a World War II LS. This is a while ago. This is like 2005, 2008. An LST that we gave them from World War II, landing ship tank, and they knew where like some of the water was super shallow, and they sank it. And like, oh, we have an island out here now too, and they actually have troops based out there. So
yeah, those poor guys.
How's that for a duty station?
They're in the news every once in a while because the Chinese blockade it, so they can't resupply it. So yeah, I mean, man, that's got to be a miserable existence.
It's becoming tough real estate out there to the point where Vietnam is almost becoming an ally. I never thought I'd live long enough to hear that, because the Chinese are filling up. I mean, we did it on the channel. We did the Spratly Islands. I think that was me and Rasmus. Did a theoretical engagement out by the Spratly Islands, and the Chinese idea is we'll create an island. It's now our sovereign territory, and 12 miles out from there is now our water. It's no longer international waters. We're just going to keep doing that until we clog up the whole. And a lot of oil goes through there.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, a lot of oil goes through there. It comes around through Singapore, and it comes up to Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, all these big Pacific Rim economies that have no oil of their own. A lot of oil comes up through there. So
and China's like, oh, the international courts? Yeah, we don't care that you said that this is made up and doesn't count.
Right.
Like, oh, well, that shows you how much juice the international courts have because, well, they don't care and there's no enforcement.
Well, what would be their body of enforcement? There's no
exactly.
The UN. Nobody pays attention to the UN.
The UN.
I don't think.
Bunch of goofs.
Henderson Field, huh? That'd be interesting. Modernizing Henderson.
I wonder if Henderson Field's even still there.
I have no idea.
I was watching Unauthorized History of the Pacific podcast, and they had a former Marine who, after his service in the Marine Corps, actually moved to Guadalcanal. He friggin' lives there now.
Really?
Yeah, and he's like now one of
we're claiming this for the Marine Corps still.
I mean, he's a great guy. He writes a bunch of books. He's definitely like the expert on Guadalcanal now. He's like, oh yeah, let me. I know where Barcelona had that machine gun. Here, I'll take you out there. It's like in his backyard. He walks out there and he like points to a tree. He's like, yep, we're pretty sure that's where it was. And he's like, here, yeah, sure enough, here's one of his brass casings. He pulls it up out of the dirt. Yeah. I mean, it's very austere existence. That's not a terribly developed part of the world, but that's his thing, and he's committed to it.
It's crazy.
I actually don't remember if that field is still there or not. I'll have to look that up.
Well, it's just one of those things. China's going to try and push until
maybe
pushes back.
That's the next scenario for kind of a modern contemporary Cold War goes hot.
Yeah.
And it's a resource game as much as anything else. You have to get the fields back up and running, and then run ops off of them.
So we're playing Command and Conquer on the board.
Something operational. We've done Panzer Leader Moderns in Taiwan. Taiwan back when 2025 was the future. This is a couple years ago we did this game. We did a couple Taiwan games. Japan, U.S., and Taiwan, obviously, versus China. We did it Air War C-20. We did a whole series. Air War C-21 and Naval Command with a bunch of people, like 4 or 5 people joined us in on that. And then the Spratly Islands as well, although Spratly Islands. And then me and Damon also did some kind of kerfuffle in Singapore.
He said kerfuffle.
Yeah, I said, well, I'm talking about Damon, so I have to shift to British. I have to shift to British. There was a British merchant ship, electronic spy ship. doing something, and the Chinese got wind of it. Now the Chinese are trying to board it, and his ships have to go out there and save it. We had actually a little SAS boarding action on the ship. We had to make a rule for it, like right there in the middle of the game. Because both sides helicopters, it's like whose helicopter can reach that ship first, and they both got there at the same time. And I was like, okay, now there's a gun battle on the deck. Naval War doesn't really have, or Naval Command doesn't really have a rule system for that. So roll a D10. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, right.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, guys, it's been a good show.
Yeah,
I think
good to get together and
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
It's been a minute for me, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So Jim's got some content coming up, and we're gonna throw some things down, and then go from there.
I gotta get to work building this game. It's tomorrow. I haven't even started it yet.
You better get busy, sir. Just better get busy.
I got a page of research, and that's it so
far. Yeah, sir, that's not gonna cut it. We hold you to a much higher standard than that.
Well, you guys can put up some content whenever you want.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be putting up my trailer on my truck.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna shoot on out. We thank you very much for tuning in today. Good to see some familiar faces in the chat.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd like to get some feedback from our audience, whether you prefer the live show or the recorded show. I'm kind of in the middle. The recorded show is a little easier in the aspect that we just spew what we spew and then go. The live show, I feel we get more interaction, and sometimes it helps drive the conversation based on comments and participation from the audience. So whatever you all think, we'd be happy to hear from you.
Yeah, put it in the comments, yo.
Yeah, please. And make sure you like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. No more Henderson Field, the area pretty modernized. We had our satellite and guru retask a DOD satellite over there and see. So
hold up GIS.
Yeah. So anyway, please let us know. And we thank you very much for joining us on today's show. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we will go from there. And thank you very much. And we will see you guys later.